Deputies spotted him driving his truck. Law enforcement reportedly commanded Hacker to exit the vehicle when he reportedly pulled the truck.
The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for a basketball matchup here on WCMP Cool Country. Tip-off will begin shortly. We'll head to the court now for the pregame.
Yeah, welcome in, folks, to tonight's boys basketball matchup here between the East Central Eagles, who are hosting the Ogilvie Lions, and this should be a fun one here tonight between these two Great River Conference foes who will face off here tonight. It is a game that will decide the Great River Conference. Who will get to hold that Great River Conference title this year? Will it be East Central? Will they get to hold it outright? And will they be on top of the conference for the first time in a while? Or will Ogilvie get the victory, an upset victory here tonight, and make it a three-way tie between Pine City, Rush City, and, of course, East Central. East Central sitting on top of the conference right now as we look at their record at 9-2, but a loss here tonight to Ogilvie would mean that it'd be a three-way tie, as I mentioned before, between them, Rush City, and Pine City. And again, I was informed, and a huge thank you to Joe Lattimore for letting me know that, yes, the tiebreakers are no more. So even if you split the games and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. If it's a tie, and you split it. So East Central looking here to get a victory at home on the regular season finale for them, and to take the Great River Conference title for the 2022-2023 season. They, of course, are sitting at 15-9 on the season. These two teams both play in Section 5-3A East, or 5A East is what I meant to say, not 3A, but 5A East. And East Central sits on top with a 15-9 record. They are 8-2 in the section, and right behind them is Barnum at 7-1 in the section, 14-11 overall. Below them is Kaleidoscope Charter at 16-8 and 2-1 in the section. Then it's Cromwell, Wright, Bram, McGregor, Ogilvie, St. John's Prep, and Mille Lacs. So Ogilvie sitting at that number 7 spot right now. And if that's how the seedings were to finish, Ogilvie would travel to Barnum for their first game of the Section 5A East playoffs. So it'd be a tough road matchup, but it'd be a good one as well. But for East Central, again, 15-9 on the season, number 1 in Section 5A East, and they're looking to make a run here in the playoffs that begin next week. Of course, as the number 1 seed, they would get that first round bye, and then they would host the winner of that 8-9 game between Mille Lacs and St. John's Prep next Thursday, I believe is what it would be. Yes, next Thursday here at East Central High School. Then after that, if they were to win, they would go next Saturday and play at Hinckley-Finlayson High School, and then the next Tuesday they would go, or I believe that might be Wednesday, they would play at Hinckley-Finlayson in the semifinals. The 15th, that'd be a Tuesday. I apologize. I'm all mixed up here tonight. I'm just so excited for tonight's game between these two teams. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be an action-packed game here between these two teams. And taking a look at East Central's schedule, 15-9 on the season. They were at one point undefeated in conference play, but as we have mentioned before, they have 2 losses in conference play this year, and it was kind of shocking. The first one they lost was to Hinckley-Finlayson here at home, 90-78. Then they lost on the road to Rush City, 65-55. But good news for them, they did beat Ogilvie earlier in the year, 65-60. But Ogilvie, again, has played a bunch of teams really close this year, whether it's in the conference, in the section, or other teams outside of that. They've played teams so close this year, and they look to do that here tonight and try and come away with a victory this evening. Of course, again, they are not shy to these close games. They have been in plenty of them all year, have the Ogilvie Lions. They're sitting at 7-17 overall on the season. They are 4-7 in conference play and 4-7 in section play as well. Now, away record, as we take a look at that, they're 1-8 on the road. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe that as well as Ogilvie is doing, they have only won 1 game on the road, which is just so surprising. That one win came against Mille Lacs. That was another close one there for Ogilvie, but they will look to wrap up the season tonight. They did beat a section opponent in St. John's Prep at home just recently on Thursday, just yesterday, 65 to 33. So they're coming in on two pretty big wins here. They lost a very close one. Again, close games like I've talked about. But they lost a close one to McGregor last Friday, 57-55. Then they came back home and beat Floodwood on Tuesday, 77-57, and then beat St. John's Prep just yesterday, 65-33. So again, for Ogilvie, they are not shy to these close games that they have been in seemingly all year long, and they'll have to keep it close here tonight against East Central if they want to get a victory and force a three-way tie for the Great River Conference title. The Ogilvie Lions will doing their best to try and make that happen. And not only that, just to get a win on the final regular season game of the year before going into playoffs, because that does wonders for a team. If you win the regular season finale right before playoffs, that does so much for your confidence and for your play going into the playoffs. Of course, as I mentioned before, playoffs are right around the corner for this section of 5 Single A in the east part of it. We've got a couple of our local teams, Mille Lacs, Bram, Ogilvie, and East Central will play in 5A East. And again, they start on the 6th, so on Monday they will begin their playoffs, but that will just be the play-in game between what would assume to be Mille Lacs and St. John's Prep, because right now in the section it is Mille Lacs and St. John's Prep at that 8-9 spot, and that is the play-in game between them, and the winner would presumably play, if East Central stays at the number 1 seed, East Central on Thursday. So we'll have to wait and see. We're still waiting for the seedings to come out. As looking at it, they say this section will be seeded tomorrow, so look for that. We'll get that out to you here on Monday. We'll let you know who's playing where, when, and at what time, of course. So this one going to be seeded tomorrow. So tonight going to have probably a lot of implications on the seeding, because you've got East Central just in front of Barnum, and Barnum just in front of Kaleidoscope Charter. So that top three could change if Ogilvie wins here tonight, because it's a section game and those mean so much more. So if Ogilvie were to get the victory, there's a slim chance that East Central could fall out of the number 1 spot here. But Barnum, they do play tonight as well against Two Harbors. Two Harbors, a Class 2A team, so it's going to be interesting. 2A, different beast, and Two Harbors, a different beast as well. They're 21-4, so East Central might almost be locked into that number 1 seed, but we'll have to wait and see, because, again, it's not over yet, and it's going to be an exciting finish to the season for all these teams, again, because these top three between East Central, Barnum, and Kaleidoscope Charter, depending on what happens tonight in this game, Ogilvie and East Central, it could switch up. Now, Kaleidoscope Charter has wrapped up their regular season. They wrapped that up on Tuesday with a loss. So, again, East Central may or may not be pretty much locked into the number 1 seed for right now. But, again, a loss here tonight in the section to Ogilvie would do wonders. First of all, for Ogilvie, that would probably help them move up a little bit. They might get to move over McGregor and or Bram. So a win here tonight could push them into the potential 5 seed, which would, as we take a look at the schedule, it wouldn't give them a home game just yet in the playoffs. I don't think they will move up past that 5 seed, but a win here tonight could push them into that 6 or 5 seed if they got the win, and that would give them a better matchup. If they were to get that 5 seed, they play against Cromwell, right? If they get the 6 seed, they play against Bram. So that's a lot of speculation surrounding the bracket right now. We'll have to wait and see what it all holds. But again, for East Central, their coach, Darren Vogt, he said, I've been waiting for this season. He's felt like this has been a team that has just been primed for a good season. They've been primed for a run. If you weren't able to see those first 2 games, they were in them. They were in them into the second half as well against Red Wing and Hastings, and some injury problems held them out of those. But after that, they won 2 straight against Mille Lacs and Pine City, but then lost 3, but then went on an outstanding win streak there of close to 10 games before they lost their 5th game of the year to Hinckley Finlayson, but they have since gone on a nice little win streak of 2 games, then lost 1, then won 1, then lost 1, then won 1, and then lost 1 to Northland. Northland, though, a very good team. Northland plays in Section 7 Single A, so Northland, again, a very good team. 23-2 on the year, and they're in the top 20 of Class Single A in the state. So Northland, again, not a easy school to beat. But East Central, they need a big win here tonight to hold on to that number 1 seed. I'm guessing if they were to win here tonight, they are locked in to the number 1 seed tomorrow. And again, tonight they might just be locked into that number 1 seed just because Kaleidoscope Charter lost their last regular season game of the season, and you don't want to presume anything, but Barnum plays against a very, very, very good Two Harbors team tonight, so that could potentially be it would be tough for Barnum to get the victory, but it's possible. But for Ogilvie, a win would do wonders for them in the seedings, give them a little bit better matchup. But it's going to be a fun one here, as it's a Great River Conference matchup as well. And if East Central wins, they've got that Great River Conference title for the 2022-23 season. But if Ogilvie were to pull off an upset here tonight, the title would be split 3 ways between East Central, Pine City, and Rush City. So a lot on the line here tonight for East Central and Ogilvie, and we are just about set to get underway here at East Central High School in Finlayson, Minnesota, for this boys basketball matchup here on WCMP. We'll take a commercial break here, word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we'll be set for tip-off here on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snow blowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get a jump on things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, Injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snow blowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get a jump on things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. They're world-renowned.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, just about set to get underway here in this Great River Conference matchup between the Lions and the Eagles. Your starting lineups here tonight for the Ogilvie Lions in their white away uniforms will be number 0, Tucker Kenyon, number 1, Hunter Kenyon, number 4, Nathan Hagel. Number 10, Noah Bitts, and 13, Cole Hergis. And Kenyon gets the early rebound on the missed 3. On the other side for the East Central Eagles wearing their home blue unis, it'll be number 0, Kyle McDonald, number 1, Warren Carlson, number 23, Nate Zielinski, 24, Jacob Dixon, and 32, Ben Carlin. Now with it is Tucker Kenyon. He tries to drive inside, stops at the free throw line, gives it off here to Noah Bitts. Bitts goes over to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter Kenyon throws that one back and away, and it's going to be an over and back. Cole Hergis goes back to grab it for the Lions just to avoid a one-on-one situation with the Eagles. So it will go back to the Eagles as the Eagles now have it again off of a turnover, and it's Ben Carlin who inbounds it here to Warren Carlson. Carlson will start on the near side, and he looks to pass it to the far side. He does get it to Kyle McDonald on the far side. McDonald falls, and the ball touches that baseline, and it will go out of bounds. A turnover will give it back to the Lions. So Ogilvie will get it back now, and want to update you on the seedings part for tomorrow for East Central. Barnum will probably get the number 1 seed because they beat East Central in their head-to-head matchup. So I want to thank Joe Lattimore for giving me info on that. He has kept up with a lot of the basketball and a lot of the seedings part of it as Hunter Kenyon drops in a basket for 2 for Ogilvie. But again, thanks to Joe Lattimore for giving me the heads up on that. So Barnum a good chance to get the number 1 seed. But a 3 the other way from Kyle McDonald for East Central gives the Eagles a 3-2 lead. Back the other way come the Lions, and it's going to be Hunter Kenyon who gives it off now to Hergis. Hergis tries to drive inside. He finds a lane, puts it up off the backboard. It's going to be no good, and Ben Carlin with the rebound there for East Central. Eagles have it in their front court, and now getting it over to Zielinski inside to Dixon. Now backs it out here to Carlson. Carlson will hand it off to Zielinski. Zielinski goes inside to Ben Carlin. He puts it up off the glass and in for 2. Ben Carlin makes it a 5-2 lead for East Central. Back again come the Lions, and one of the Kenyans hands it off inside underneath for Nathan Hagel, and he puts it up and in for 2. So it's 5-4. Still in favor of the Eagles as they have it quickly into their front court. Warren Carlson has it. Carlson will look to go inside there to Jacob Dixon. Dixon is fouled, and weird enough, that ball went off his hand, went off the backboard, and he still got it. So even if he wasn't fouled, he still would have gotten the ball. That's going to go on Cole Hergis, his first. The Eagles will get set to inbound. Carlin gives it to Carlson inside to Dixon. Top of the key here to Zielinski for 3. That's going to be no good. And Ben Carlin grabs the rebound, takes it to the net, puts it up and in for 2 to make it 7-4. Eagles with a 3-point lead. Just under 3 minutes gone off the clock here in the first half. Tucker Kenyon has it, gives it off to Hergis. Give it back to Tucker Kenyon. Tucker directing traffic out there and now looking to drive inside. Backing his way in, passes it back out to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter looks to take it towards that perimeter line, and he'll give it off now to Hergis. Hergis gives it off far side to Tucker Kenyon for 3. That's just off the mark. And Ben Carlin, an easy rebound. Quickly up the court come the Eagles, and it's Kyle McDonald far side for 3, no good. Rebound up for grabs. Ben Carlin again, puts up a short 2, and it's in. 9-4 now is the East Central lead. And again, rebounding so significant here. Been a huge key for the Eagles all season long. And when you've got Carlin and Dixon who are there in the paint, you're pretty set. Hunter Kenyon now has it for Ogilvie. He's trying to drive inside. Nice spin move, then hands it off. Pass it to the perimeter to Hunter Kenyon for 3. And we're going to get a timeout called here after the Hunter Kenyon 3. Will bring the Ogilvie deficit down to 2 as it's 9-7. A great spin move there by Tucker Kenyon, who drove inside, then passed it outside on the perimeter near side to Hunter, who was wide open for 3 to make it 9-7 with 14:08 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. And on that Embrace Orthodontics, your custom braces or Invisalign, they have 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. So the Eagles up early, 9-7 over the Ogilvie Lions. It's a Great River Conference game. If East Central gets the victory here today, they will be Great River Conference champs. But if Ogilvie pulls off an upset, East Central will have to share that title with Pine and Rush City. So a lot on the line for both these teams, plus some better seeding for Ogilvie if they get the victory. East Central needs a win and needs some help, too, to try and lock up that number 1 seed over Barnum, as Barnum did beat them head-to-head. Warren Carlson has it. He'll give it off to Zielinski. Zielinski will go all the way across the court to Kyle McDonald. Now back to Carlson. Carlson drives inside, and they're going to get a jump ball call, and the possession arrow favors the Lions. So the ball will go to Ogilvie on that jump ball. 13:47 to go out of the timeout. And the Lions will look to push it up the court. It's Hunter Kenyon, who slowly works his way up, and now it's past half court and gets into the... And the Lions miss on that one. Of course, rebounded here by the East Central Eagles. It's going to be Carlson with the rebound. And I want to thank... this one's stolen away by Hergis. And blocked from behind by Dixon, but Hergis gets it back, puts it up and in for 2. Wow. A steal by Hergis. He gave it off to Hunter Kenyon, and then coming from behind was Jacob Dixon for the block. But unfortunately there, Hergis follows behind for East Central and gets the 2 to drop, and now a ball that gets away. It's stolen away by Hunter Kenyon, and he'll go around the perimeter. He'll set back to the East Central logo and reset things now for Ogilvie, and they'll look to try and take their first lead of the game. So the Lions have it. It's Hergis. He gives it off now to Hunter Kenyon for 3, and he drops it in. Hunter Kenyon for 3 gives Ogilvie a 12-9 lead. So East Central have had a couple of turnovers here that have led to some points for Ogilvie, but they'll get back to the front court now and look to change that here. Oh, and no one there for Warren Carlson. He was expecting someone to be in that far side corner. Not the case this time, and that ball is thrown away and will be a turnover. So unfortunate there. It'll be the 3rd consecutive turnover for East Central, and the last 2 have led to points for Ogilvie. Checking into the game for the first time for East Central is Xavier Letexier, wearing that number 4 jersey. A 3 there is no good. Rebounded by Hagel. And he'll pass it back out. It's going to go out of bounds, though. Last touched by the Eagles. Ogilvie will get it inbounded here to Tucker Kenyon. Now over to Hunter. I'm going to get those mixed up all game long. I apologize. It's Hunter Kenyon with it. Now back to Tucker. Tucker will bring it towards the top of the key, give it off to Hergis. Hergis on the near side elbow here. He'll drift around and looks to pass it far side to Hunter, and Hunter now has it. He steps up to the three-point line, and that is no good. Rebounded by Nate Zielinski, and he'll take it up the court, quickly up the court now, and that's going to be a foul here on Ogilvie. It's Kyle McDonald who was fouled by the Ogilvie Lions player. That was number 13, Cole Hergis, with his second. It looks like we'll get a substitution here for the Lions. That will be number 35, Hunter Rappel. There's Hunter Rappel into the game for Ogilvie. And East Central looks for a three the other way, but it's no good, and rebounded by Carlin, who puts it back up and in for two. A rebound machine in Carlin, and again, good luck trying to get a rebound over him. It's been so difficult for them trying to do that. For any teams, really, but Ogilvie has been trying and haven't found too much success over him yet. Pass here from Hagel goes to Tucker Kenyon. Tucker trying to get around Zielinski. He does. He gets a screen, but then gives it off to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter drives inside, and he falls, then passes it off to Hergis, and that one's no good. Rebounded by Jacob Dixon. Dixon will pass it off quickly, and Zielinski takes it to the front court, steps back outside the perimeter for three. That's good. Nate Zielinski, a smooth-looking three there to make it 14-12. Ogilvie quickly back to the front court of their own, though, and that little toss towards the basket from Tucker Kenyon is no good, and the Eagles will watch that one travel out of bounds, and it will go back to East Central, who quickly retakes the lead they once had. Now they lead 14-12 with 10.5 minutes to go here in half number one. Zielinski on the three elbow, looks for it again. It's no good. This time rebounded by Tucker Kenyon, and we're going to get a late whistle here and a foul on East Central. That's going to go against Xavier Letexier. So Letexier with his first foul and the team's first. 10:21 to go here in the first half. The Eagles lead 14-12 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Dr. Sievers is committed to providing a world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Lions have it up the court. It's Tucker Kenyon who gives it off here to Hagel. Hagel tries the reverse layup, no good, and Jacob Dixon there for the rebound for the Eagles. Here comes Zielinski, makes a nice move on the defender, lost the ball, and does not get it back. Hagel with the steal, but it's too far forward and is going to be stolen right back here by Jacob Dixon. So it was two steals in a row, and now Kyle McDonald for three. Kyle McDonald, another three here, makes it 17-12, and that'll be a timeout here by the Lions. And we'll take a quick commercial break as well, as you're listening to boys basketball here on WCMP.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, live with video at WCMPradio.com. 17-12 is the Ogilvie, or the East Central lead here over Ogilvie on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at EmbraceMN.com. That's Embrace, EMBRACEMN.com. 9:43 to go here in half number one. East Central trailed for about 30 seconds before retaking the lead with back-to-back threes there. One from Kyle McDonald, the other from Nate Zielinski. And that gave them the lead back, and they have since built on it. It's now a 5-point lead for the Eagles of East Central, trying to wrap up the Great River Conference at 10-2 if they were to get the victory. But if they were to lose again, it's a three-way tie between them, Rush City, and Pine City, and they would love nothing more than to avoid that three-way tie. And this ball going to be stolen away by Zielinski. An easy steal there for him. He'll give it off. No good by Kyle McDonald. Rebounded and put back by Xavier Letexier. Letexier for two makes it 19-12 now in favor of the Eagles. But Bringing it back up the court are the Lions. It's Tucker Kenyon who gives it off here to Hergis. And for three, that's going to be no good. It is Zielinski with the rebound. So Zielinski with the rebound, and the three there is no good, and it is still up for grabs on the rebound. Ogilvie Lions do get it, maybe. Going to get a foul. So the rebound by Hagel initially, he tried to get it off to Rappel, and he picked it up, but now we're going to get a foul on East Central. That's going to go on Letexier, his second. By the way, I have been mentioning the wrong name. It's been Noah Bitts who has been getting a couple of those rebounds along with Hergis. But Noah Bitts is number 10 for Ogilvie. This pass is to, that's a number 3, Xander Kimball for Ogilvie. Ogilvie is holding on to it here. It's Tucker Kenyon who gives it off to Kimball. Now inside to Noah Bitts, and he dropped it, and that will go out of bounds. And it'll be a turnover as the ball will go back to East Central. So unfortunately there for Bitts, he couldn't hold on to it cleanly. Travels out of bounds, and now East Central has another chance to build on their lead. Zielinski has it on the near side, fakes the three, gives it off to McDonald, top of the key. McDonald back to Zielinski. Zielinski grabs it one-handed. No look, one-handed catch too, and he'll give it inside to Carlin. That's almost too easy. Ben Carlin for two, and he already has 10 points here tonight for the East Central Eagles. He's been a monster inside, and they'll just continue to work him inside because it's working. Right now, East Central Ogilvie has no answer. Is now Ogilvie turns it over. Kimball lost the handle on it, and it went into the back court for a back court or over and back. And now East Central will again take over. Hunter Rappel checks into the game. Or number 35. Zielinski looks to lob it inside to Carlin, and it's there again. Ben Carlin has just been camping underneath the basket on the offense and has just waited for the ball to be lobbed into him, and then he has easily dropped it in for two, and now has 12 points on the evening so far. It's Tucker Kenyon who gives it off here to Nate Hagel. Nathan Hagel who looks and gives it off to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter looks to drive inside, finds a lane, puts it up. It's blocked! Blocked again by Jacob Dixon. That's his second of the evening. And the Eagles have a 23-12 lead here in the first half with 7:12 to go. The Lions will look to inbound after that ball went out of bounds on the block by Dixon. And then this ball gets into Hagel. He nearly lost it. Hagel finds a lane that he likes. Blocked again by Dixon. Rebounded by Carlin. And then this ball goes out of bounds, though, on the pass and last touched by the Eagles. So it will stay with Ogilvie. Ogilvie catching a huge break there as Dixon got the block. Rebounded there by Carlin. And then it was thrown out of bounds, not purposely, obviously, by East Central, but just a little bit of miscommunication. And now the Lions catch a break. It's Hunter Kenyon who has it. He'll look to drive, give it off to Tucker. Tucker tries to drive inside from the near side perimeter. Now gives it off to Hunter. Hunter will look to circle the perimeter. He'll work to the top of the key. Looks to turn on the Jets. Instead, he gives it off to Bitts on the far side. Noah Bitts. He's going to work towards the top of the key now, gives it to Hagel. Hagel working in amongst the trees, gives it back outside to Bitts for three. That's off the mark. And that's going to go off Zielinski out of bounds, and it will stay with Ogilvie again. So Zielinski in a prime spot for a rebound. He did a great job of positioning himself for that rebound, but unfortunately could not grab it cleanly, and it will go out of bounds off of him. As now checking into the game is Ramsey Kiernan for the Eagles. This ball is inbounded to Bitts on the far side. He tries to drive inside, almost lost it. Rappel will lose it, and it's going to be a turnover. Stolen away here by number 12 for East Central. And that is Braden Olson. And it's rebounded again by the Lions. Shot here is no good, but a foul on East Central. Did not see who the foul was on that time. It's going to be the third either way for East Central. It's on, well, they call that one on Dixon, so Dixon with his first, team's third. And that first one there for Hunter Kenyon dropped in, so we'll make it 23-13. And the second one no good, but he's going to get his own rebound. So Hunter Kenyon missed the second one. And then right away, Kiernan's going to get called for the foul, so the ball will go back to Ogilvie. And now looking for three right away, airballed that one, did Hergis, and unfortunately we'll go back to East Central. So Ogilvie has been catching a couple of breaks here, but they just cannot get the points to go their way from those breaks, and sadly for them, that's just boding well for East Central, as now Zielinski has it off the tip pass. He's going to pull up from two, and that's good. Nate Zielinski, just great job there by realizing, hey, he's got an open shot. Why not just take it? And he does there. We will get a whistle here. Not sure on who. Interesting. They did get a whistle, but no foul, nothing else happened. But either way, East Central leads 25-13 with under 6 minutes to go. It's Hunter Kenyon who has it. He looks for the screen, gets the screen, drives inside. Nice spin move. He works in amongst the trees, wait for them to come down, but it's no good on his shot. And Ben Carlin, who else, gets another rebound for East Central. He'll give it up to Ramsey Kiernan. Now inside to Carlin. Carlin comes down with it after it's tipped. He'll give it off to Kiernan. Now on the far side for Braden Olson for three. That's good. Braden Olson for three makes it 28-13. East Central. Lions work it back into their front court. It's Hunter Kenyon who gives it off to Tucker. Tucker will look to work it to the top of the key. Now drives inside. He's going to pull up from just a bit inside the paint, and that one's no good. And again, another rebound for Carlin. He's going to have double digits by the time we get to halftime. He's going to have a double-double. Inside, now back outside, it's Zielinski. His shot is just off the mark. That one's knocked out of bounds by Ogilvie, and it will stay with East Central. Kyle McDonald will come back into the game, and also into the game for Ogilvie, it'll be Nathan Hagel. So a couple substitutions for each, and Carlin will look to inbound. He does to Olson. Braden Olson on the near side for three this time. It's no good, but Jacob Dixon gets the rebound, and he'll circle around, put it up. No good on his shot, and this one's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Ogilvie. So East Central catches a break there and gets another opportunity. That was a good job by whoever was underneath there for Ogilvie, boxing out. And unfortunately, they just could not get that rebound pulled in, as Jacob Dixon will work hard inside. His shot's no good. Ben Carlin with another rebound. A three on the far side for Kyle McDonald. 31-13, the Ogilvie Lions trail now as they work it into their offensive zone, trying to get things going back their way. It's Tucker Kenyon to Hunter Kenyon, and now to Hergis. All the way across now to Bitts. Bitts will get it back. He'll give it back to Tucker. Now to Hunter. Now to Hagel. Or Hergis, excuse me. To Bitts. And they'll continue to pass this ball around. Trying to drive inside was Hunter Kenyon. Ball's up for grabs, and it's going to be taken away by Jacob Dixon on a steal. Ogilvie couldn't hold on to that one cleanly, and they give it back on a steal. Ben Carlin inside. Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass inside to Ben Carlin. That opens him up. Zielinski with the just insane pass inside to find Carlin open and get him able to drop it in for two. That makes it 33-13 here in the first half in favor of the East Central Eagles. And on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard with 3:37 left to go here in the first half. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at embracemn.com. 14 points here in the first half for Ben Carlin. He leads them with 14. Then the next closest to him is Kyle McDonald with 9. As we look at his rebound totals, he has 9 rebounds. He's one away from a double-double in the first half. We have 3 blocks, though, from Jacob Dixon here in the first half. He also has 2 steals, so it's been a pretty dominant performance here in the first half by East Central. But Ogilvie has had plenty of opportunities here to kind of get things going, but sadly they just haven't been able to capitalize off those opportunities. So, and that's something they're going to have to do here in this second half, is capitalize off of those opportunities that they have been getting. They've caught a lot of breaks on the offensive side, but they're hoping to capitalize here as they continue on here in this first half and look to get a little bit of something going their way as we get closer to ending the first half and getting ourselves to the second. Ogilvie Lions will continue to pass it around here, and something we've seen a little bit of, but they haven't done as much as they have in these last couple possessions. They're passing it around a lot now, trying to just to kind of almost, I kind of like to call it lull the defense to sleep. You pass the ball around, you get them to kind of just sit in their spots, wait for you to take a shot, as that shot is up no good, and they're going to say foul on East Central, which will be the team's 5th, and I think they're going to get Jacob Dixon. And at the line for 2, it is Hunter Kenyon. He's no good on the first. I think they got Jacob Dixon, who does pick up his second. And it's Hunter Kenyon, who missed his first, but makes the second. 33-14. A large lead here for East Central as they'll bring it back up the court on the near side for Kyle McDonald. All the way across the court for Xavier Letexier for 3. 36-14. Letexier coming in. Has done some good work off the bench and pulls up a 3 there. Now the Lions have it back, and a long 3 that time from Tucker Kenyon for his first points of the game to make it 17-36. East Central has it, though. They're working it up the court, and it's going to be Letexier who gets fouled by Ogilvie, and Ogilvie will pick up their 3rd team foul. And that one is going to go against Noah Bitts, his first, team's 3rd. East Central will inbound. Inbound gets to Nathan Zielinski in the backcourt, so that's where he'll start, and then he'll bring it into the offensive zone. And a shot there is good. And a nice 2 there from the East Central Eagles. A 3 here is good from Cole Hergis. So it's now 38-20, and all of a sudden the Ogilvie Lions have found a little bit of rhythm from 3. They will look to keep that going, and going to get a foul call here on Kenyon for the Ogilvie Lions, his first, team's 4th. Zielinski gives it off to Braden Olson, now inside to Carlin, and that one is tipped and stolen away by Hunter Kenyon. Quickly up the court to Tucker and to Bitts for a long 3. That's going to be no good. Braden Olson comes down with the rebound for East Central. Eagles bring it up the court. Behind the back pass is going to be an over, and oh, they're going to say the defender got a hand on it to force it not to be. If you're Ogilvie there, you've got to be aware of the fact that that ball is going into the backcourt and it wasn't touched by any of your teammates, and you just got to let it go because that's a turnover. That's a free turnover, and you didn't have to work for it. Zielinski tried to get a little too fancy with it there. He tried to go for the pass behind the back, but just a little bit too fancy with it there. And unfortunately for Ogilvie, they just weren't aware of the fact that, hey, that ball wasn't touched. That was going to be an over and back, and they would have gotten the ball back. So unfortunately for Ogilvie, they will almost essentially give the ball back to East Central after they went after it. But the Eagles do lead here in the first half with 1:25 to go, 38-20 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, they'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, you can ask about financing options. They will find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. Under a minute and a half to go. And these two teams have gone at it again. Ogilvie has found a little bit of rhythm from 3 as of late. They will look to try and continue that out of this timeout and try and take some of that momentum into halftime, but we shall see. East Central's done a great job of getting those defensive rebounds and not making anything easy inside, of course. And they've also done a good job of guarding the perimeter, too. But Ogilvie has found a way to soften that up just ever so slightly. But East Central, you got to stop them from scoring, too. And so far, East Central has scored on what seems like every possession. As they will pass it around, Kyle McDonald will take a shot from 3. It's good! Plus the and 1. Excuse me. Apparently, I got a little too excited. 41-20. As Kyle McDonald draws the foul on the 3, and he'll look for the 4-point play. I'm not sure who picked up that foul for Ogilvie. Either way, as Kyle McDonald picks up the 4-point play, make it 42-20. The way it was a 5th foul on Ogilvie. Again, not sure who picked it up, but was the 5th foul. 42-20, 4-point play there from Kyle McDonald. And now the Lions have it. They will continue to pass it around. That's how they've been able to get some of these 3-point shots to fall here late in this first half. So they'll look to continue to pass it around, open someone up from the perimeter, and drain in a couple of shots. That ball is poked out, stolen away by Braden Olson. Braden Olson will get the steal. He'll take it up the court, give it off. Now to Letexier on the far side for McDonald. McDonald tries to drive inside, gives it off to Carlin. Carlin tries to spin around, puts up a shot, lays it in for 2. 44-20 with 30 seconds to go here in half number 1. Eagles lead over the Lions. Passing it around, Ogilvie. Again, trying to open up that 3. That's how they've gotten those last couple of 3s to fall. They'll continue to try and do that here. And I don't know if maybe it wouldn't be a smart idea for them to try and be the last team to take a shot, because you don't want East Central to get the last shot. But if that was Cole Hergis who takes a 3. Zielinski will take the last shot, and it's no good. Was rebounded by Carlin just before the buzzer sounded, so he'll get another rebound added to his stat sheet. But we will go to halftime with the Eagles leading over the Ogilvie Lions 44-23. Cole Hergis hit a last-second shot for Ogilvie to make it 44-23, and I was saying that you may want to be the last ones to take the shot because, again, if you're East Central, they haven't stopped scoring, so you might want them to not be the last ones to touch the ball. But luckily for Ogilvie, the Eagles did not get that last shot to fall through, and it will be a 21-point deficit for Ogilvie. But if you're East Central, you're pretty pleased with where you're at. Obviously, they're going to want to try and clean up some things here at the halftime period and get into the second half and really start to pull away. There were a couple opportunities where it felt like they definitely had the chance to pull away by a large margin, but just couldn't get it, as Ogilvie did a good job of getting some turnovers and getting some rebounds as well. So it's halftime here at East Central High School. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll recap that first half and give you some keys to the second half. You're listening to Boys Basketball on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snowblowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get a jump on things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Here at halftime at East Central High School, the Eagles lead over the Ogilvie Lions 44-23. So a big first half there from the Eagles. And, it is looking good for the Eagles on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. They will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, you can ask about financing options because they will find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. Quickly before we move on with the recap, looking at the stat leaders here in the first half for the Ogilvie Lions. Hunter Kenyon had 10. He led the team. Then it was Cole Hergis who followed him with 8. 3 for Tucker Kenyon and 2 for Nathan Hagel. They had 4 steals in that first half and 5 team fouls. On the other side for the East Central Eagles, leading the way for them was Ben Carlin with 16, 13 from Kyle McDonald, and then 5 from Xavier Letexier and Nate Zielinski, and 3 from Braden Olson, and 2 from Jacob Dixon. By the way, Ben Carlin did end the first half with a double-double as he got 16 points and 10 rebounds. Here in this first half, they had 4 steals as well, but 3 blocks coming from Jacob Dixon in that first half and 5 team fouls as well. So again, I mentioned it was a good first half here for the East Central Eagles, and they had 6 made 3-point shots there in that first half, and they didn't take too many more than that. So very good percentage from outside the perimeter right now for the Eagles, and they are doing a very good job of, one, getting the rebounds. And it's not, it is difficult to get rebounds, don't get me wrong, because rebounds are hard to get, but it's not terribly hard when you have Jacob Dixon and Ben Carlin who are there underneath the basket waiting for the ball basically to drop into their hands, because all they really have to do is stick a hand up and they're going to be over everyone else's leaping ability. That they're just that much taller than everyone else out on the court. So them two are very good players. And right now Ben Carlin, again, he leads the team in scoring and rebounds, but he has just been a menace inside right now. They can't seem to find a way to stop him because he goes inside. He's double-teamed. He's even triple-teamed sometimes, and he still manages to pull down the ball and put that thing up and in for 2. And again, that is not easy to do, especially when you're guarded, double-teamed. That is so hard to do, especially inside, because that inside, it's claustrophobic in there. Once you get underneath the basket, it is claustrophobic. It is a tight window. There's no room to breathe. And for you to try and get any points in there, it is so difficult. And Ben Carlin has done such a good job of doing that here tonight. He has shown no fear, and he's only a freshman. Only a freshman. They're going to love this kid for a while. And Jacob Dixon, again, he's done a good job. He's gotten a lot of blocks. We've seen him before. He is a block machine. He's had about 2 or 3 in every game, I think, that have called for East Central, and he's done such a good job of that. And he's kind of like a ninja. He waits in the shadows, and then as soon as your shot goes up, he's there. The hand is there, and the ball goes back the other way for East Central. So for the East Central Eagles right now, they can really get it done from anyone. Kyle McDonald, he's done it from three-point range. He even got a 4-point play there right before half. He hit the 3 plus got the and 1 for the 4-point play to get him 13 points at half. So it's been a fun first half here for East Central. They've got things rolling, and again, they get it done from everyone. Braden Olson hit a 3 there. Xavier Letexier hit one as well. Ramsey Kiernan, he plays defense so physical that he got a foul on him, and I'm not just saying that because, but he plays at such a fast pace, and he wants to be so physical on defense, you can tell, and that is part of the reason why he got a foul there in that first half. On the other side for the Ogilvie Lions, there wasn't much good going for them in that first half. They had a bunch of turnovers. They couldn't seem to grab a lot of rebounds, and to be fair, there wasn't many to come by over Carlin and Dixon, but after a while, they started to adjust. They started to get into the flow of the game in their own way, in their own pace, and they started to almost slow things down on the offensive side and started to get a little bit more patient and pass the ball around the perimeter a lot more. And we've seen 2 consecutive possessions where they did that, and it opened up a shot from 3, and they hit 2 threes in a row. And East Central, it's not that they didn't know what to do, but it kind of caught them off guard, so they had to take a timeout and kind of figure things out. And again, Ogilvie has been given so many breaks here in this first half. They just haven't been able to capitalize off of them. And if they catch those breaks again here in the second half, they have to for sure capitalize on those because they're not going to get too many more in a game where East Central is starting to pull away slowly but surely. Maybe not so slowly anymore either. So we're getting set for the second half of action here inside East Central High School. We'll take another commercial break. Hear a word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, we'll be ready for the second half of action here on WCMP.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, and WCMPradio.com. Just about set the second start. Let me restart. Just about set to start the second half of action. Got a little too ahead of myself there. It is a Friday, folks. So maybe I can get a little bit of a break, please. Either way, we're getting set to start half number 2 between the Eagles and Lions. And again, fun first half. The Eagles starting to pull away slowly but surely, but Ogilvie found a little bit of something to work, and I think one of the keys for Ogilvie here in the second half is I think they're going to, if I'm Ogilvie, I would go with that patient game again. Get into the offensive zone and pass that ball around the perimeter. Try and lull the Eagles' defense to sleep and then open up a shot from 3. And I think you're going to have to start taking a few more threes than you're comfortable with and maybe even take some over some defenders. If you're East Central, I really don't see much you need to change. If anything, on defense, just watch for that patient game. Know that they're probably going to be going patient as we do get a steal early on here for the Ogilvie Lions. Nate Hagel, he'll get it, and he'll take it all the way to the basket, but it's no good. And it is Zielinski who comes up with the rebound there for East Central. Bringing it back the other way now to Kyle McDonald for 3. It's good, and Kyle McDonald starts right where he left off in the first half. It's 47-23 now. East Central with the lead. As Ogilvie tries again that patient game, they're continuing to start what they did there to end that first half, just being patient, and that opens up a 3 for Tucker Kenyon. It is no good. And the rebound, it was last touched by East Central, so Warren Carlson, I think he might have thought that it was off of Ogilvie, but it in fact was off of East Central, so it will stay with Ogilvie. So this is the break I'm talking about, that Ogilvie got a lot in the first half, and they'll have to score off of it because they're not going to get too many more. Available was a shot for Tucker Kenyon from the free throw line, but instead tries to drive to the basket, and it was no good. Ben Carlin with his 11th rebound. Warren Carlson gives it off inside to Jacob Dixon, who puts it up and in for 2. And Jacob Dixon did get a lot of points there in that first half, but he just did his job and did it well, as now it's 49-23 and just over a minute gone in this second half. Lions have it. It's Hunter Kenyon who gives it off now to Noah Bitts. Bitts looking. He'll give it inside to Tucker Kenyon, who loses it, but Hunter is right there. He's trying to get a spin move. He puts it up. It's no good, and we'll get a foul here on East Central. So Kenyon will go to the line. It's Hunter Kenyon going to the line for 2. 16:34 to go here, first half. First foul on East Central of the second half, and that one's going to go against Ben Carlin, his first. As the shot is up and good from Hunter Kenyon on the first one. Makes it 49-24. And good on both. So Hunter Kenyon nails them both to make it 49-25. Eagles have it back. And it's Ben Carlin who will give it off now to Zielinski. Zielinski will give it off to Carlin, now to Dixon, now back outside to Zielinski, far side 3, no good. And swatting that rebound back, and Carlin gets it, trying for the putback, no good. And it's rebounded there by Hergis. Back outside, a long 3 from Hunter Kenyon, just off the front of the rim. Ben Carlin, another rebound here for East Central. Carlin brings it up, he gives it off now to McDonald, now to Warren Carlson for 3, that's no good. And getting the rebound that time is going to be Hergis, and then we're going to get a foul here on East Central. And I believe that will be Carlin? I think they're going to get Warren Carlson for the foul there. Yeah, they do. So Warren Carlson with the team's second foul here of the second half. It's only Carlson's first. As the Lions will travel left to right on your radio dial here in the second half. East Central, right to left. Hergis has it in the near side corner, gives it off to Bitts. Bitts will give it off to Hergis. Hergis trying to drive inside, looks for a shot, waits for the defenders to come down. It's no good, and Dixon will get the rebound for East Central quickly up the court. It's taken in by Kyle McDonald. He'll give it off now to Zielinski, now to Carlin. Carlin puts it up, no good. Dixon with the rebound, and that's no good. And it's going to be rebounded there by Tucker Kenyon. And they'll try and work, and they've done a good job here getting some rebounds, and now they can turn this into points. They would find something good to really start going their way and possibly start to, take away some of this lead. And then, Dixon with a block, but I think a foul came before that, they're going to say. And Dixon had the block. It would have been his fourth, but going to get the third foul of the second half here and the second on Carlson for East Central. 49-25, 15:04 to go. And it will be Hunter Kenyon at the line to shoot 2. Hunter Kenyon, good on the first. And Kenyon good on both. So Hunter Kenyon drills them both to make it 49-27. Ogilvie slowly starting to cut away at that lead, and we'll look to get another good defensive stop as Zielinski pulls up from 3 on the far side. It's good. Nate Zielinski for a 3 on the far side. Makes it 52-27. And here come the Lions. It's Hergis with it. He gets a screen, gives it off far side to Tucker Kenyon, nearly poked away by Kyle McDonald. And driving inside, he'll back it out to Hunter Kenyon on the far side for 3, and that's no good. Ball is tipped, and Hergis going to get the rebound, puts it back up for 3. That's no good, and getting the rebound is Warren Carlson. He got the back of his shoe stepped on. They did not call a foul, and now a 3 from Kyle McDonald. A 3 for Kyle McDonald makes it 55-27. And we get a timeout or... No, just a substitution here for the Lions. It'll be Hunter Rappel wearing that number 35. The Lions will get set to inbound. And it is to Hunter Kenyon. Hunter trying to work around the defender, drives inside, and a charge call there on Hunter Kenyon. Be his first and the team's first of the second half. Head coach for the Ogilvie Lions, Sam Weaver, kind of wants an explanation as to why it was called a charge, and gets it, and now ball will be inbounded here for East Central. Eagles bring it back up the court. It's Zielinski who gives it out to Kyle McDonald, far side 3! Raining threes here for the Eagles in this second half. It's 58-27. Kyle McDonald right now can't miss, and that ball is tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with the Lions as it was tipped by an Eagle player. So Lions catch a break. They'll get it back. They'll inbound it here to Tucker Kenyon. Tucker will give it to Hunter on the far side. Hunter will drift back towards the near side. Now trying to drive. He'll give it off back to Tucker. Tucker trying to drift to the far side. He does. He bounce passes it to Hergis. Hergis will pull up from three on the far side. That's going to be no good. And it's kept alive by Hagel. And it will stay with the Lions again. Hagel threw it back into Hunter, and then it was knocked out by the foot of Warren Carlson. So it will stay with the Ogilvie Lions. Hagel, he'll give it off in the inbound to Kenyon. That's Hunter Kenyon. Will bring it up the court. Now tries to drive inside. Puts up a little lob towards the basket. That's no good. Ben Carlin comes down with the rebound for East Central. But quickly the other way go the Eagles. And it's Zielinski whose shot is no good. And it's rebounded here by the Ogilvie Lions. It's Hagel who goes up for two. It's no good. But it's rebounded by the Lions. Tucker Kenyon. And that shot is no good. Rebounded by Zielinski of the Eagles. Back the other way come the Eagles. Zielinski has it. He'll pull up from the free throw line. That's no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Tucker Kenyon. And the Lions quickly up the court. They find a man, Rappel, but he is out of bounds. So a little bit too far in front of him on that pass. And the ball will go back to East Central on a turnover. 58-27 is the Eagles' lead with 12:42 to go here in half number 2. And East Central bringing it up the court. It's Zielinski. Zielinski on the far side. Wanted to get it to Carlson. Goes inside to Ben Carlin. And that one will fall through. Make it 60-27 now in favor of the Eagles. And again, pulling away here in this one. And that ball going to be nearly stolen away. Well, it was stolen away there by Warren Carlson, but he had to keep it alive. And now back the other way. Jacob Dixon for two. Warren Carlson with the steal. He nearly went out of bounds, kept it alive to his teammate. They threw it down to Dixon, who put it up and in for two to make it 62-27. Eagles starting to run away here in this one with 12:09 to go here in the second half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Of course, they have 3 locations. As I mentioned, Dr. Sievers, though, is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. 12:09 to go, and the timeout called there, I believe, by Ogilvie. I didn't get to see who the timeout was to, but it is a timeout no less, and East Central trying to wrap up the conference. So the timeout over with, or just about over with. There we go. There's the buzzer for the timeout, and now both teams will make their way back out onto the court. As Ogilvie should be inbounding, they will be. They will inbound it to Tucker Kenyon. And he'll bring it up the court now to Hergis. Hergis, he'll give it off there and nearly goes in the backcourt, but Kimball brings it down. Xander Kimball now gives it off to Tucker. Tucker looks for three. That's good. Tucker Kenyon for three makes it 62-30. Bringing it back the other way are the Eagles. In the far side, it's Kyle McDonald. He'll give it off to Letexier. Inside to Dixon. Dixon double teamed. He'll spin around, put up a shot off the backboard, no good, but Carlin trails behind. His shot is no good off the rebound, and it's rebounded by the Lions. It's Hergis again with the rebound, and that shot no good by the Lions, and it's going to be rebounded by Zielinski. Zielinski back the other way. He'll give it off to Letexier for three. That's going to come up short and rebounded for a moment by Kyle McDonald. Then it was taken the other way by Hunter Kenyon. And I believe it's going to be Tucker Kenyon who was fouled by an Eagle, and he'll go to line and shoot 2. No, it will be just on the floor. But Jacob Dixon picks up his 3rd foul of the game. And the 4th team foul here in the second half. So the Lions will inbound. They do to get to Kimball. Kimball gives it off to Nathan Hagel. Hagel now to Bitts. Bitts back to Hagel. Hagel looks to drive inside. He picks up his dribble. Give it back out to Bitts. Bitts on the near side. He'll give it back to Hagel. And now to Hunter Kenyon. And they'll work it over to Bitts again. Now to Tucker Kenyon for 3. That's off the mark. And Ben Carlin going to pick up another rebound here for East Central. Kyle McDonald, he'll give it off to Zielinski, to Letexier. Inside to Dixon. Dixon spins around, pulls up off the front of the rim, and it rolls in for 2. Dixon now has 8 points, and it makes it a 64-30 lead in favor of the Eagles with under 10.5 minutes to go here in half number 2. It's Bitts who gives it off to Tucker Kenyon. Tucker directing traffic, wants a screen, gives it off to Hagel instead. Now on the far side to Rappel, now to Kimball. Tucker now over to Bitts and to Hagel. They'll continue to pass the ball around until they find an open shot that they like. Rappel will take it inside. It's no good, and Jacob Dixon will grab the rebound. He'll give it off to Zielinski. Zielinski wanted to pull up from 3. He guarded well. Instead, he'll give it inside to Carlin, who puts it up and in for 2. Got the friendly roll to make it 66-30. And now taking it all the way to the basket was Tucker Kenyon, who lays it in for 2 to make it 66-32. Nice job there by Tucker Kenyon. Takes it all the way. Letexier for 3, and that's going to be no good, but he's going to go to the line and shoot 3. Noah Bitts will probably be the guilty Lion as he bumped Letexier on his way through. It is. Bitts with his 2nd of the game and 2nd team foul for Ogilvie in the second half. First shot is up and no good by Letexier. Second one is good. And he'll get one more as he was fouled outside the perimeter, so it'll be 3 shots. He made 1 so far, and here will be his 3rd and final. This one, no good. So 1 for 3 there, but Carlin almost had the rebound. It's going to be Hagel, though, who will pull it down for Ogilvie. And Hunter Kenyon brings it to the basket, and he lays it up and in for 2. A nice job there by Hunter Kenyon, who spun it home for 2. 66-34. Eagles have it, and trying to keep it alive there was Olsen, but it's going to be stolen away by Hunter Kenyon. So the Lions have it back. Hunter Kenyon tries to drive inside, gets around the defenders, and got the kind roll. Hunter Kenyon gets it to fall to make it 66-36. Lions have found a nice little 6-point run here. As that ball tipped, and it somehow gets back outside to Zielinski, who keeps it alive and avoids a turnover. Zielinski lost it again, but he still keeps it alive. And we'll get a timeout call here by Darren Vogt, the head coach of the East Central Eagles. So a timeout there for East Central from Darren Vogt, their head coach, and he's got them with a 67-36 lead with 8:38 to go. So under the halfway point here in this second half. And East Central well on their way to try and pick up their 10th victory in the conference. Ogilvie makes their way back out onto the court. Ogilvie had a nice little 6-point run going there. Created a couple of turnovers and turned those turnovers into points. As East Central will get set to inbound, they do to Olsen, and it will go back to Carlin. Now back to Olsen, inside to Dixon, excuse me, to Warren Carlson. Now back outside of Zielinski. Three is good from deep three range. And Zielinski adds another one to his total here tonight to make it 70-63. Tucker Kenyon has it now near side. Gets a screen, tries to drive inside, pulls up a little floater. That's no good. Hagel will get the rebound. Reverse layup is good. So Hagel will look for the and one opportunity and the three-point play. It's going to be a foul here on East Central. Their fifth of the second half as a team. And it goes on Ben Carlin, his second. Hagel will again look for the three-point play. And it's good. So 70-39 is the Eagle lead. Dixon will come the other way, look for a score. Doesn't get the first one to drop, but gets the second one after getting his own rebound to make it 72-39. Ogilvie drives inside. The shot is up. Another kind roll there for Hunter Kenyon, and that'll send him back to the line for one as he got it to drop through. So it'll be the sixth team foul here on East Central. And who will it be on? One's going to be on Carlson, his third, and head coach Darren Fote, he wants an explanation as to why that was a foul and pleading his case, but refs are not going to change it now as 7:46 to go. Hunter Kenyon for the three-point play. He gets it. So three-point play there for Hunter Kenyon makes it 72-42. Eagles still with a large lead as Warren Carlson will give it back to Zielinski on the far side. Back to Carlson, and Carlson back to Zielinski. Under 7.5 to go now as they go inside to Carlin. And it looks like we'll get a foul here on Ogilvie. It'll be their team's third of this second half, and we will wait to see who that guilty Lion is, and it is Tucker Kenyon, his second. Inbound here to Braden Olson from the far side for three. He hit a three like that in the first half, and he'll make another one here in the second half to make it 75-42. It's Hunter Kenyon who gives it off far side to Hagel, and they're going to get a foul here on Ogilvie. Must have been an illegal screen or a push-off when Hagel went to get the pass. I didn't see it. That'll be their team's fourth foul, and it'll be on Hunter Rappel. And the Eagles will bring it back up the court. Oh, an easy steal there for Tucker Kenyon, and he's fouled on his way to the basket, but he still got it to drop through. So now the possibility for another three-point play here for East Central, or for Ogilvie, excuse me. 75-44, and that foul is going to go. They have it on 31 of East Central, but there is no 31. Well, either way, it's the seventh team foul there for the Eagles. And Tucker Kenyon makes it a three-point play. Warren Carlson has it, who gives it back out to Zielinski, back out to Carlson. Inside to Dixon. Dixon goes out to Zielinski. Zielinski will pull up from three, and that's good. I mean, right now the Eagles just can't miss from three, and it's 78-45. That shot is no good there by the Lions, and Ben Carlin will grab another rebound here for East Central. Zielinski gives it inside to Carlin, and as Carlin goes up for the shot, he's fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot two. 78-45. That foul is going to go against Tucker Kenyon, his third, team's fifth. And Carlin, his first free throw, no good. Falls off the side. Get a quick substitution as Bitts and Hergis will check back in for Rappel and Kimball. So Carlin no good on the first, makes the second. And it's 79-45. Here come the Lions. It's Hunter Kenyon. Hunter tries to drive inside, puts up a little floater. It's no good. And Hunter tried to get the rebound away from Ben Carlin, but there's almost no getting it away from him once he gets his hands on it. Zielinski, nice move inside. No good on the shot as Hagel will pull down the rebound for Ogilvie, and he'll bring it back the other way. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Eagles, so Ogilvie will hold on to it. But Eagles have a 79-45 lead here in this game with 6:03 to go, and well on their way to claiming the Great River Conference title. This ball is inbounded to Hunter. Hunter Kenyon looks, waits patiently. He'll give it off to Tucker. Back to Hunter. Takes the three, drives inside, spin move. Wanted a floater. He'll put up the floater. It's no good. And Zielinski with another rebound here for East Central. Zielinski pulls up from three on the far side. That's going to be no good. A line drive shot is no good. Rebounded by Jacob Dixon. And then we get a whistle and a travel call on East Central before the steal. So Ogilvie will get it back. Tucker Kenyon brings it up. Bring it up slowly. Now gives it off to Bitts, and Noah Bitts for three. That's going to be no good. And again, Zielinski with another rebound. And rebound machine here in the second half. He gives it off, and now it's in the far side corner to Warren Carlson. And that ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Lions. This ball is inbounded to Dixon. Dixon spins around. He gives it off to Braden Olson. Back to Zielinski on the far side. Three no good. Jacob Dixon pulls down the rebound, puts it back up and in for two. (81-45) the East Central lead. It's Tucker Kenyon who pulls up from the short two, and it's no good. It'll be out of bounds. Last touch by Ogilvie, and East Central will look to inbound once again. Clock will roll as we are under 5 minutes and have over a 30-point lead for one side, and that leads to the running clock as Eagles have it back. Zielinski, he'll give it up to Dixon. Dixon looking, we'll give it out to Zielinski. Zielinski wanted the three, now pulls up from the free throw line. That's no good, and rebound here. No one really got it. Bitts had it for a moment, but he couldn't pick it up cleanly, and that's going to continue to roll out of bounds and back and stay with the Eagles. Ramsey Kiernan checks in for East Central. As the clock again continues to run, we won't have a stop clock unless a timeout is called because of the running clock rules. Zielinski will inbound it to Dixon, and Dixon, going to get called for a travel. Ball will go back to Ogilvie, and checking in for the first time here tonight is Dylan Lundberg. So Lundberg checks in for East Central for the first time. Ogilvie has it, and it's nearly poked away, but Hergis will take a shot from two. It's going to be no good. And Zielinski, yet another rebound. Taking it to the basket that time is Lundberg. Lundberg for two, plus the and one. Nice drive there by Lundberg off the rebound, and he took it in for two. And looks like we'll get a bunch of new players here for Ogilvie, excuse me. The three, looks like number 5, 11, and 33. We'll try and get those numbers and players for you. 5 is going to be Anthony Bitts. And getting the three-point play is Dylan Lundberg. To make it 84-45. A shot there from number 21 of Ogilvie, that's Landon Hatfield. And a three here from East Central, it's no good. Ramsey Kiernan with the rebound. That's number 3 who took that three. Ethan Johnson, no good again. We'll get a full timeout here as I'm trying to catch up on the score sheet here, trying to get everybody's name down that I can. So they'll take a timeout. We'll take a quick word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Back here on WCMP, got a couple substitutions in there for each team. They'll basically have their JV squads out there, as now it's East Central, and that's Lundberg, whose shot is no good. And that one's going to be rebounded by number 11, who I don't have a name for. Number 11, unfortunately, not on the roster under number 11 anyways. Shot no good from Ogilvie, and it will go back to the Eagles, and that rebound there by, is that number 10, possibly? That is, I don't have a number for 10 either. That shot either way, though, is up and in for two by Lundberg. So Lundberg drops it in for two for the Eagles, and will extend it to an 86-45 lead. Ogilvie trying to score. Kimball drives, and he'll give it off to Bitts. Anthony Bitts for three. That's no good. And rebound up for grabs. It's going to be staying with Ogilvie as those last touched out of bounds by East Central, and that will pretty much do it here as we're under a minute to go. So the Eagles will come away as Great River Conference champions at 10-2 once the buzzer has finally sounded. And East Central, what a year it has been for them. Driving inside Anthony Bitts, no good. Ramsey Kiernan with the rebound. And back the other way, Kiernan drives, passes it off to Lundberg again, who puts it up and in for two. 88-45, and again with under 10 seconds to go, that does it here in this one. A three from Anthony Bitts, that's going to be no good. Rebounded, no good, and that is it. So the final here in this one, East Central comes away with a huge victory, 88-45. Not only do they come away with the victory, they end their conference schedule at 10-2 and as Great River Conference champions. Congratulations to East Central as they are the Great River Conference champions. And everyone here just heard the news that they are Great River Conference champs. So congratulations there to East Central on their Great River Conference championship as they get the win here tonight over Ogilvie. And it's a big one as, again, they are Great River Conference champs here this evening over the Ogilvie Lions. It was, again, if they lost, it would have been a three-way tie between them, Rush, and Pine City. But they get the victory, and they are Great River Conference champs. On that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboards, Dr. Severs is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. They're also helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. You can find out more at EmbraceMN.com. Of course, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at their website, EmbraceMN.com. Also, they will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan that fits your budget. Again, find out more at their website, EmbraceMN.com. We'll take a quick commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. And then when we come back, we will wrap up our game here this evening. As again, East Central, the 2023 or 2022-2023 Great River Conference champs. And the Eagles get the victory here this evening. We'll be right back after word from our fine sponsors.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snowblowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get-a-jump-on-things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, the final here in this one. The East Central Eagles get the victory over the Ogilvie Lions, 88-45. And again, the Eagles are Great River Conference champions here with the win here tonight. That'll put them finishing their conference season at 10-2. And again, as Great River Conference champions. So congratulations there to East Central. They will wrap up their season at 16-9 and 9-2. In their section. Of course, Ogilvie plays in their section, as does Bram and Mille Lacs, a couple of conference teams that play here in this section. And Hinckley-Phillipson used to, but then they moved up to AA, and they did a pretty good job transitioning to AA, I might say so myself. But East Central gets the victory here tonight over the Ogilvie Lions, 88-45. And again, both these two team seasons come to an end. Ogilvie will end the season at 7-18. They will finish up 4-8 in section play, and they will finish up 4-8 also in conference play. And again, for East Central, they wrap up the season at 16-9, at 9-2 in the section, and at 10-2 in the conference, as they are now Great River Conference champs. That has been a title that has been held by Pine City for quite a few years now, but East Central got a couple of big wins over Pine City this year. Actually got two of them over Pine City. One on the road earlier in the season, then one here at home. And so East Central, that really helped them to get on top of the conference. And then they had a couple of losses there late in this season, and one of them came to Hinckley-Phillipson here at home, which was not it frustrated the Eagles. You could tell they were a little bit frustrated with that loss. But then they went on the road to Rush City, who they beat earlier in the year, but fell this time around by about 10 points. And it wasn't looking good as it was getting close to the end of the season. You were wondering, oh boy, is East Central going to be able to hold on to that conference lead? And both Rush City and Pine City were hot on their tail, but they get to end the season here tonight as conference champs with the victory over Ogilvie, 88-45. A great game here tonight. East Central just shot the ball so well, and I mean, in this second half, they hit basically every three that they took. It was just an onslaught of threes that they hit, and very good job by their shooters getting open and just taking the tough shots. Stat leaders here in this one for the Ogilvie Lions, it was Hunter Kenyon with 21 points, and then Tucker Kenyon had 11, 8 for Cole Hergis, and 5 for Nathan Hagel. Leading rebound-wise with Nathan Hagel with 6, 5 for Tucker Kenyon, and 4 for Cole Hergis. They had 7 total steals here in the game, 4 in the first half, 3 in the second half, and 10 total fouls with 5 in the first half and 5 in the second half. On the other side for the East Central Eagles, leading the way for them was actually Kyle McDonald, who had 22 points. 21 were then added by Ben Carlin. Scoring 14 was Nate Zielinski. 12 were added by Jacob Dixon, and then 7, from Dylan Lumberg, and then 6 from Braden Olson and Xavier Latexier. 18 rebounds there for Ben Carlin. He ends the night with a double-double, nearly a double-double for Jacob Dixon. He had 9 rebounds and 8 rebounds for Nate Zielinski. He really turned it up rebound-wise there in the second half and really got things going their way. They had 5 total steals here in the game, only got 1 here in the second half, but they really didn't have to work too hard defensively to get those turnovers because they were already leading by a pretty big margin, and they didn't really need to get any more than what they already had. They had 3 blocks, all 3 of them coming from Jacob Dixon there in the first half. They had 11 total team fouls, 5 in the first half, 6 here in the second half. So, again, it was a fun one here. I should say 7, so that would be 12 because there was one that I wasn't sure who it was on, but 12 total team fouls for them. But, again, they get the victory here this evening to the Eagles, 88-45 over the Ogilvie Lions. Now we just await to see where they will end up seed-wise and who they will play and when and where. Well, we know where, and more than likely they won't drop below 2. There's no chance that they'll be lower than a 2 seed, so they'll get a home game, but who will it be against will be the question. It's a lot. If they play as the number 2 seed, well, then they would get the number 7 seed, and that number 7 seed currently is Ogilvie, so they could get a rematch. If they were to jump Barnum and get the number 1 seed, well, then they would host the winner of 8-9, that St. John's Prep Mille Lacs game next Thursday, but that all depends. Again, the seeding here from the sections are tomorrow, so we'll find out for sure who will play when and where. And stay tuned to our websites, WCMPradio.com, KBEK.com, and our Facebook pages, KBEK and WCMP, for updates on those. We'll get you an update on that and a whole article on that on Monday as to the seeds, who will play where and when, and at what time as well. And we'll get a whole article on every local team that we have in our local listening area, from here to at East Central and Ogilvie, to Mille Lacs, to Cambridge Isani, to Foley, to Malacca, to North Branch, everywhere in between. We'll get all the teams on that article to let you know who each of them will play next week in the playoffs and at what time and where, of course. Usually it's a first-round home game, and then after that it's neutral site, and that's how it is for Section 5 Single A. So East Central will get a home game no matter what here to begin the playoffs next week. Then after that, they travel to the neutral site at Hinckley-Finlayson next Saturday, and then on the, I think it's Thursday after that, or Tuesday, it will be at Hinckley-Finlayson High School again for the semifinals. So the quarterfinals and semifinals will be at Hinckley-Finlayson High School, and the championship is still yet to be determined. They'll decide that here coming up. I'm assuming after next weekend's quarterfinal game, they'll decide that, maybe even the semifinal game. I can't imagine they'll wait too long to decide where to play the championship game. I think the last couple of years has been on Hinckley-Finlayson High School. I could be wrong, though, but we'll wait to see. And, of course, on the other side of the bracket, still plenty of teams alive there, as they've got a very strong bracket in 5A West, as well as Nevis is there, as well as Browerville, Eagle Valley, Pine River Bacchus, Long Prairie Grey Eagles, Swanville, just a whole host of very good teams on the other side of the bracket as well. But again, the Eagles will wait their seeding here on tomorrow. They'll find out who they will get and what their seeding will be. Again, right now, thanks to Joe Lattimore, he will, or the Barnum Bombers will be the number 1 seed, but with the win here tonight, and if Barnum loses tonight, there could be a chance that East Central jumps them for that number 1 spot, but it'll be interesting, and we will not speculate. We will wait for tomorrow to see who will play where and when and what time. And again, that comes out tomorrow, and we'll have an article out on our websites and Facebook pages on Monday. As we look forward to our broadcast schedule here, going the rest of the weekend, well, that wraps it up for Friday's action, but tomorrow we've got a plethora of playoff games for you. It's girls basketball playoffs, as Malacca will take on Albany over on 95.5 FM at 1 p.m., and that will be video thanks to Wellia Health. Then Bram will take on Upsala in that girls basketball matchup at Hinckley-Finlayson High School on 100.9 FM. That'll be audio only. Then at 2:30, it'll be Pine City Girls taking on Kimball on 106.5 FM with video thanks to Wellia Health. And then at 2:45, Ogilvie will play against Barnum at Hinckley-Finlayson High School, and that will be audio only on 95.5 FM. So we got plenty more action coming up for you tomorrow. I want to give a shout-out to Adam Hefty ahead of time for him doing both of the games at Hinckley Finlayson High School tomorrow. Thanks so much to him for doing games that he has all season long, and thanks to him in advance to doing the 2 games tomorrow at Hinckley Finlayson High School for Bram and Ogilvie. I want to give a huge shout out to Andy Beckstrom, who will be joining me tomorrow at St. John's University out past St. Cloud in Collegeville, Minnesota, where we will be covering the Malacca-Albany game as well as the Pine City-Kimball game. We'll be out there covering both of those games with video, so thanks so much to Andy Beckstrom, who will be on that call with me. Thanks to both of them for calling games all year. I want to give a shout-out to Joe Lattimore, as well, as he provides me with a lot of information that I may just not see or miss or I just don't know about, and he provides great information for me that really is a lot of help along the way, because then I can use that to give it to you, or if he's on the broadcast, he can give that to you directly. So we appreciate him for doing games that he has this season and doing them with me. Again, learned a lot from him this year, so I appreciate that from him. But again, here in this one, the East Central Eagles win over the Ogilvie Lions 88-45, and with that win, they are great River Conference champions of the 2022-23 season. So the Eagles, what a great way to end this regular season, as now they'll prepare for postseason play next Thursday. They'll get a home game and then to the neutral site down at Hinckley Finlayson High School. So it won't be too far away, as it probably will feel more or less like a home game again if they were to advance to the second round, the quarterfinals. Again, because it's right down the road. It's about, 15 miles from here maybe? So it'll feel much like a home game there for the East Central Eagles if they do get to that point. But I want to make sure that they thank you for tuning in here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Thanks so much to them for sponsoring this broadcast. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do any of these games. So thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors. Again, I want to make sure that you stay tuned to our morning shows on 95.5 FM KBEK with Rockin' Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. And then over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can catch your local sports updates. We'll talk about this game as well as other games that have went on in our local listening area. We'll give you updates on those games as well. And that's every weekday morning, again at 7:30, 7:45, 8:30, and 8:45. You can hear those on KBEK and 100.9 FM WCMP. I want to remind you, remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really make their day. So be sure to be kind to everyone. Again, the final here in this one, East Central 88 over the Ogilvie Lions, who scored 45. Again, the East Central Eagles are Great River Conference champions here this year. So congratulations to East Central on the Great River Conference title. We'll find out who they play tomorrow or on Monday if you stay tuned to our websites and our Facebook. Again, thank you so much. Thanks to all the fine sponsors, and for WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic